I will take the gum out of my mouth. I'll be polite. I'm going to set it right over here on this napkin. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name is Ethan Van Sciver. I am a comic book artist with 25 years experience in the industry. I am the illustrator of Jordan B. Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. I am the artist of Cyberfrog Blood Honey, creator. Here's the page I'm working on right now. There's, look, yeah. Trying to get that done. I'm into it. I'm telling Andrew, I was like, I'm like this right now. I'm totally zen. I'm enjoying myself. I'm really enjoying just kind of, doing what I'm doing. I'm in the zone. I'm feeling Cyberfrog. I dream about it. I wake up in the morning. I'm retelling his origin now. I'm doing I think it's going to be a 5-page origin sequence of Cyberfrog. And it's just an opportunity to take a story that's been in my head for so long and actually retell it now that I'm old enough to, I've got enough experience. I know how to actually tell a comic book story. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. All right, what goes on here? We've got 462 people. Hi, Kabir Kumar. Welcome everyone. Of course, I'm going to do this one solo this morning. This is just a solo stream. There aren't going to be too many people in here because this is personal. This is intensely personal. And I must control this stream. I must be the only voice speaking. It's got to just be, oh my God, what is up with these goddamn iPads? Excuse my language. I'm cursing a lot more lately. I'm cursing a lot more. I got to just, again, hold on. What is the Serenity Prayer? Bing bong, bing, whatever I can't control, etc., etc. Psycho 2 was underrated. By the way, if you'll notice, I did cleaned up the display that's right behind me. Like I'm pointing here, up here. So I put Cyberfrog there. I put Atrocitus there. And then there's the Sinestro doll right behind. Big, gigantic Barbie doll-sized Sinestro, complete with the fascist haircut and the little armband that drove everyone crazy. That is there. And it's terrific. I want to give people something better to look at. And I'm going to clean up this area too behind me. This area is a little bit junky. I'm going to make my display look wonderful. It's going to look like Jeremy, the quartering. It's going to look awesome. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff to look at. We put in the order for Jabba the Hutt. The big giant Jabba the Hutt from Sideshow. I expect it's going to be this big. Like the Jabba the Hutt should be this big when it gets here. That's what I'm picturing anyway, because if it's to scale with the other toys, I mean, a Sideshow toy is like this tall, a Sideshow like human being. So Jabba should be roughly, right? Should be that big. We'll open it together as soon as it comes. They're saying that it's going to be anytime between October and December. I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait until that Jabba the Hutt gets here. So I'll clean this up a little bit more. We'll make this a little nicer. And next time I'll shave, all that kind of stuff. I want this to be a pleasant visual experience for you, as much so as possible. Anyway, great to be here. This is Monday morning. Let's start our week off right with some weirdness. First of all, fantastic. DC Comics is declaring this. I don't know. Hold on a second. I'm gonna screenshot or screen share some things here. Bear with me. Let's go. Right here. Oh, this is the Gail Simone thing. Let me back up. Yeah. How wonderful is this? How wonderful. Yeah, look at this. This is terrific, everyone. This month, we celebrate generations of Hispanic culture and history. And this, of course, is the amazing Jessica Cruz. We talked about Jessica Cruz and her origins, where she came from, how she was created, and so on and so forth. Maybe a couple weeks ago, we did a live stream. Was it a live stream? It was a live stream. The video for that is up on my channel now. It's called I Lied About Creating Jessica Cruz. Just kidding. SJWs are stupid. I think that's the name of the video. Go back and check that out if you're interested, if you're curious. We got some person here who says, ooh, comics gators don't like this. There's an ongoing narrative. This is the whole thing about the left. The left, their only complaint about COMICSGATE, first, they don't have any real complaints. No complaints actually exist in reality. None of their complaints are genuine. They're all fake. They're all based on their fantasies, on their dreams and wishes. They have to project evil on the people who just disagree with them in the slightest. If you disagree with an SJW in the slightest, they need you to be evil. So if you're evil, that means you hate Latinos, you hate Hispanic culture, you hate marginalized people. Marginalized people. That's important. I'm going to adopt the word marginalized. I'm going to go ahead and use that because there's nobody more supportive of what you would call marginalized people than me. Nobody. I actually, create opportunities for people. I do. I work really hard to create opportunities for everyone, of course. And there are very few people in comics, very few, precious few people who have created more diverse, quote unquote, diverse, okay, because that would make white males non-diverse. The whole thing is stupid. More quote unquote diverse characters than me. And by the way, the characters that I create that are diverse are actually beloved. Everyone loves them, and then they forget that I created them. I mean, that's the way it goes. That is indeed the way it goes here. So I created, Jessica Cruz. Comics Gators don't like this. Ha ha ha. This character was literally created by Ethan Van Sciver. This is called the first SJW, anti-Comics Gator self-own of the day. There will be many more. There will be many, many, many more. Don't you worry about it. Metalhead says, I love X-23. I do too. I love X-32. Her name was Lynx. It's funny to see Joe Quesada now. Joe Quesada is celebrating the 20th anniversary. The 20th anniversary of Marvel Knights. And Marvel Knights was the label under which I created Lynx, X-32, for Marvel. So actually, X-23 is 20 years old today too. 20 years old. And you should mention that to him. I did make the internet. Of course I did. Hi, Umbrella Guy, who's here. You never know. I always like to look at the chat and see what's going on. All right. So look, what is the meaning of all of this? What is the point of everything? What is going on right now with COMICSGATE? Well, COMICSGATE, we're on the verge of something big, and this is inevitable. Some news will be coming out, I'm sure, between now and the end of the year. I don't know when the statistics for how comics are selling, I don't know when that's happening. I don't know when that gets announced to people. Now, I read a great article from December of last year that's circulating again, talking about how poor comic book sales were in 2017, how everything is collapsing. And because of that, certain companies, and they pointed out Marvel and Netflix, 1 and 2, Marvel Comics and Netflix, we're going to pay the price for this. And indeed, it's like Marvel Comics and Netflix both didn't go to San Diego Con this year. For the first time in whatever? What's going on? How is Marvel Comics not at San Diego Comic-Con? How is Netflix not at San Diego Comic-Con? What in the world is going on right now in this industry? Now, September 29th, of course, is the fiscal year end for Disney. And Disney, of course, owns Marvel Comics and many other, and they own Star Wars. A lot of fun stuff is going to happen. We're going to see some changes happen. Ethan invented the apple pie. I wish, but no, whoever did is a genius, and I will give them all the credit in the world. Absolutely. I did invent the Apple iPhone. All right, so we're going to find out what goes on. I'm hearing rumors now. Rumors have reached my ears. I love it. Rumors have reached my ears. Sweet God, that comic sales are down somewhere between 16 and 18% this year. I don't know that. That hasn't been confirmed. That is just what's reached my ears. That is what is being whispered to me. And thus, the comic book industry is insane right now. Absolutely insane. And what do we do about that? What do we do when comic book sales are down? If comic book sales are down 16 to 18%, and we're not sure, I'm waiting for those numbers, dude. All I can say is, well, what, when you don't understand what's going on, you won't understand why all of this stuff is happening. You just go, why is Joe Quesada attacking COMICSGATE? Why won't these people stop lying about COMICSGATE? Why won't they just go away and leave us alone? Why are they obsessed? Why are some of them talking about how they're being paid to attack COMICSGATE? What's going on with that? There are a couple of people out there who have actually insinuated that they're being paid to attack COMICSGATE. By who? Who is stupid enough to do that? Put your money back into your comics, make them better. That would be a good thing. That would be a good idea. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Adam C goes, we need to raise those numbers to about 50%. No, we don't. We don't. We need to save comics if we can. And if not, we need to continue comics in some other way. Comics either need to be rescued from the pitiful sales that they're enduring right now, or we need to come up with our own thing. We need to come up with our own alternative. There's no other choice. People are depending on comic books. People love comics. What, are they just going to go away? How long before IDW was publishing everything that Marvel puts out? All the Marvel characters. IDW just announced another Spider-Man book. What the hell? Now, I hope that for now, Marvel is just lending out the license. IDW has a lot of cash. IDW has investors that for some reason aren't getting it. When you repeat the same mistake over and over again and hope for a different result, is that insanity, or is that just being stubborn? I don't know. I think it's just being stubborn, but people keep saying that's the definition of insanity. I always think insanity is going blah, 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 and throwing your feces against the wall. And they do that too. Anti-COMICSGATers do that too. But no, IDW has plenty of money. IDW has the money to maybe, pay a license fee to Marvel Comics to raise their bottom line a little bit and put out Spider-Man books under the guise of, hey, these are for kids. These are meant for kids. These are like the Archie Digest, but they're not. It's brand new material. This is all brand new material that IDW gets to create using Marvel properties. I don't understand why Marvel Comics wouldn't do that themselves, unless Marvel Comics kind of realizes that, well, the licensing fee that we would get from IDW is probably going to amount to more than we would have made had we put the comic book out ourselves by our own talent. And IDW is probably thinking, yeah, we're not going to sell very many of these, but hey, it's going to look pretty cool because now IDW is publishing some Spider-Man. And that's probably the arrangement there. But boy, does it look weird. Looks absolutely weird. Okay, so this morning somebody woke me up. Again, every day it's always, there's something new. There's something new going on all the time. Here's Gail Simone. Gail Simone is someone that I worked with quite a bit. Oh, that's too big. That's too big. Quite a bit. And, let's see. After what happened? How did this all work out? Flash Rebirth. Me and Jeff Johns came out, and they wanted me to do Superman at DC. And I said, no, I don't want to do Superman. I was bummed out by Flash Rebirth in the sense that I wasn't happy with how it came out. And then also, I wanted to be involved in Blackest Night because I co-created Blackest Night with Jeff. And I had a choice. They gave me a choice between Flash Rebirth, bringing back Barry Allen, or getting to do Blackest Night. So it was either my great, awesome Green Lantern zombie concept with all of my, the emotional spectrum and all these designs that I'd done, or I get to be the guy who brings back Hal Jordan and Barry Allen, and that's my legacy. Whew, that was a tough decision, and I felt that like a rock in my belly. I remember that. I remember just sitting on the couch and talking to my ex-wife, who was then my wife, and saying, "This is a pivotal career moment. This is a decision that I can't take lightly." Jeff said, "Think about it. Think about it." And I was just like. I remember just getting back with him on the phone the next day and being like, I think I want to be the guy who brings back Barry and Hal. And then as soon as I said it, I felt sick. And then Blackest Night came out, and Blackest Night, of course, was a great big hit. Flash Rebirth did well too, but it just seemed a little bit unfocused, and we didn't get to do everything we wanted to do. When we were doing Green Lantern Rebirth, DC Comics let us go for some reason. But Flash Rebirth, once you have a success, once something is successful, everybody wants to be involved. They don't want to let you repeat the formula. Everybody has to get involved because they think that, like, hey, even though we left them alone to do Green Lantern Rebirth and they did great things with it, once now we've got to repeat that success, or we want to be a part of that success. So we've got to actually get involved and be on top of every moment of this, every aspect of this. We got to make sure that we monitor it and make sure it's okay. So Flash Rebirth didn't go that well, and then everybody in the world got to draw Blackest Night except for me. I think I did 2 variant covers, but everyone, like all these people, these like artists that I was like, what the hell, got to do some Blackest Night stuff, and they got to do it their own way, and it didn't feel great. So I was kind of bummed out. They offered me Superman after that. I said, no, thank you. I want to do something else. I want to do something called Day of the Composites. And Day of the Composites was going to be taking composite Superman and turning him into a kind of Invasion of the Body Snatchers type of alien plague that would take over all of the superheroes, kind of knock them out and then combine them, so that all of them would kind of look like composite Superman. They'd be half Superman, half Batman, half Black Canary, half Wonder Woman, et cetera, et cetera. It was a really, like, it was one of these ideas where I remember it was 2010, talking to Dan DiDio at a convention and, at a party. And I said, here's what I want to do next. I said, here's what I want. I want composite Superman. And he said, what the hell? I was like, no, you got to trust me. I can make composite Superman as big as Sinestro. And he's like, all right, Ethan. I was just like, okay, all right, weirdo. They gave me composite Superman. Well, who's going to write it? Jeff Johns can't write it because Jeff Johns said, hey, it would be like a repeat of Blackest Night. It would be my second kind of zombie style book in a row. So I shouldn't do it, but you should find someone else. Now, when I said Gail Simone, when I brought up Gail Simone, numerous people told me, don't do it. Don't work with. I said, why? She's really popular. She's popular on the internet. They said, don't work with Gail. I said, Gail's my friend. I like Gail. I think she's popular. I think, I don't know. People say they like her stuff. So Gail Simone was to write Day of the Composites. She didn't seem to understand what it was. She took this horror concept and she inserted a whole thing with Lois Lane arguing with Ann Coulter. I don't know what it was. I don't know really what it was about. It took the story way off track from the narrative of the story. But she insisted on it. I think there were like 8 pages worth of Lois Lane. Talking about, it was something about, hey, Lois, you sympathize more with superheroes than normal people. Something like that. Something that was almost interesting, but not quite as interesting as composites from outer space. She never finished it. It was 100 pages. It was meant to be 100 pages long. Gail wrote about 59 pages of it and then just kind of ground to a halt. And the script pages that were coming in were just random. They were assorted. Like, here's pages 59 through 61. And it's like, well, where's, 55 through 68? Well, those are coming, God. Okay. That's kind of how it was. And so it all ground to a halt. I think I drew about 50 pages of it that still exist. DC Comics has them. They'll never see print. It chokes me up a little bit. Makes me sad. I really worked hard on that. I wanted it to come out. Didn't work out. Instead, let's see. How did this work out? Firestorm. They gave me Firestorm to do. They said, well, what do you want to do? We want you to do something for the New 52. Gail got on Firestorm with me because she was already working with me on Day of the Composites. I said, well, they said, well, we want your idea. And I said, okay, so my idea for Firestorm is this. I'm not going to write it because I'm not a writer, but I will co-plot it, or at least I will kind of stand over it and make sure that it resembles what I'm telling you. Gail Simone will write it. And so I was co-plotter. I think I was receiving $500 an issue to do almost nothing except just to kind of say, hey, this is what the book is supposed to be, and this is where it should go. That book was commandeered by Gail. The first 3 issues were completely written by her, with she paid no heed to any of the pitch that I'd given to DC Comics at all, none. And then it was let me just put it this way. It was an extremely unpleasant working situation. It was hostile. It was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And it turned out that at the end of the day, Gail Simone, did she quit or was she fired? Who cares? She wasn't on the book anymore. Joe Harris came in, great writer. He tried to steer the ship again, but it was just too damaged. If you do a new series and the first book offends people, then you'll be lucky. It's going to be a steep decline from there. I mean, you just can't pull out of that nosedive. That is basically what happened there. The whole time I'm sitting, DC Comics is telling me, "Hey, this isn't what you said it was going to be," and I'm sitting there going, "Well, it's Gail. Well, get Gail to do what you need her to do," and then Gail would tell me I'm bullying her and steamrolling her. So I was like, "All right, this is no fun. This is not going to work out." So it didn't work out, and that was the end of Firestorm. Even still, I think 4 years later, DC Comics asked me to do a Wonder Woman one shot. And they said, well, you can choose your writer. And Gail Simone was no longer working for DC Comics, was no longer getting work at DC Comics. And because Gail was my friend, I went and I said, Gail, do you want to write this? Do you want, you're known for Wonder Woman. Would you like to write this Wonder Woman one shot? And she said, yes. She did it. It was fine. She gave me 2 choices of a story to work on with her. I chose the one with the Batman villains. She wrote it. It worked out just fine. So it's like the 3rd time was a charm. It was just a one shot. I drew it, all of it, got in, got out, and that was fine. Then I think November 9th, 2016, Gail Simone turned her fans on me. She decided to quote tweet me and start talking about how dare you vote for Trump. And my, on November 9th, that was something else. I have never seen, you want to talk about targeted harassment? I have never seen anything like that before. And the Gail's supposed to be my friend. We disagree, but I mean, Gail's supposed to be my friend. And she basically turned her audience, her crowd, which was about 100,000 followers strong, on my Twitter account. And I didn't know, I'm not used to that. I wasn't used to that. I'm quite used to being beloved. So all of a sudden, I'm getting hatred. I'm getting people that I've never heard of, that I'm not even sure, read comics, brigading my Twitter account with personal insults and just horrendous abuse. Shocked. I was absolutely shocked that Gail would do that. I thought she was my friend. I blocked Gail Simone, and she's been blocked ever since. So it's like, that is like, I had to protect my tweets for like 3 days while people laugh. Look at Ethan losing all his Twitter followers because, yeah. Again, I mean, this is the thing. When I say befriend an SJW at your peril, it's like riding a great white shark. There's no reason to try to be friends with an SJW. They will turn on you as soon as possible. As soon as they need to, as soon as they no longer need you, they will turn on you. They will stab you in the back. This is not a good person. It's important that she exude this facade of being a good person. This is not a good person. And I say that from personal experience. And I have the receipts, many of them. All right, so this is Gail Simone, the 15th of September. And she, of course, is one of about 3. There's a trilogy of comic book professional writers who are a part of an organized harassment campaign against COMICSGATE. And she does this behind the scenes. She does this with the assistance and help of other people who she interacts with in private. And those people do make themselves known in ways such as this. This is called concern trolling. This is one big bit of concern trolling. This is, well, COMICSGATE would be okay if it wasn't so racist, and that's why I must condemn it. Let's read this and we'll go through this. This is a pack of lies. This is an unbelievable pack of lies. And I'm happy to just read it, because this stuff needs to be exposed. This stuff needs to be exposed over and over again. Here's Gail Simone. I have one more stray thought about COMICSGATE. Oh my God, was there more? Were there more tirades like this? And this is just one more stray thought about COMICSGATE, and then I'm done for the day. Why don't you do your fucking work instead, Gail? It's like, if you would stop having one more stray thought about something political that doesn't involve you, you might have gotten Day of the Composites done, and it would be out right now. There's no pretending what this group is about. Yes, there is, Gail. That's what you guys are in the business of doing. You can't be an adult and toe the party line. That this isn't a movement that started because some female editors at Marvel had the temerity to take a photo celebrating the life of a beloved Marvel legend. This is an absolute lie, but let me finish this and I'll explain. They took a sweet moment honoring an important figure in comics history and her legacy and made it all about themselves and their personal failings. They harassed these women endlessly, and these pros sat by and supported them, pretended they didn't see it. Gail, that's not where COMICSGATE came from. COMICSGATE came from basically a group of far left wingers who decided that it was time to start morally harassing, moralizing, and creating puritanism in mainstream comics by demonizing Milo Manara for that Spider-Woman cover, where Spider-Woman was in a bent over pose climbing up the side of a building. It was cheesecake, and SJWs like yourself decided to harass and attack Milo Manara and get that cover pulled and shame him and basically ruin his career. That was a big moment. That was a pivotal moment. That, in my opinion, was the beginning of COMICSGATE. That was cultural Marxists. I'm sorry, that's a Jordan Peterson term. That's a term that Jordan Peterson uses. If Jordan Peterson is a Nazi, you're nuts. Jordan Peterson is not a Nazi. He's a good guy. He uses the phrase cultural Marxism, not cultural Bolshevism, cultural Marxism, to describe SJWs. It's the same thing. It's the same situation. Little communists that are involved in the culture, that want to change the culture. Comic books have always been sexy. Comic books have always had cheesecake aspects. Comic books have always been about celebrating, the exaggeration of the human form. And here we have the exaggeration of the female form now being demonized, now being, you can no longer depict these female characters in a sexy way. You can't do it without ending up on Bleeding Cool. Frank Cho will tell you the same thing. Frank Cho lost his job as a variant cover artist on Wonder Woman because an SJW was the writer and had control over the content of those covers. I mean, so Frank Cho, who was very, very much known for drawing kind of this wonderful thick woman cheesecake kind of thing, drew a shot of Wonder Woman deflecting bullets, I believe, with her bracelets, and she's turned to the side, and the back of her tunic is up, and you can see that underneath the tunic, she's wearing these kind of, little underpants. You can see one little line that depicts that she's wearing almost granny panties. It's not a thong. It's nothing like that. Frank Cho was pilloried for that and fired from his job. I still don't understand that. I'll never understand that. But you give SJWs a taste of power, and they will run with it and grow. And SJWs have run with it. They have grown. They have grown. They've become arrogant in their power in comics. They are currently making the rules and then pretending to be victims while they do it. They've got their whole victimized narrative. But in essence, what they're doing is they're stripping comics of what is fun about comics and pretending that they are being harassed while doing so. Well, they are harassing people. They harass these women endlessly. So here's the milkshake incident. Now, the milkshake incident, of course, in and of itself was no big deal. But around the same time, there were a number of people online who were noticing and complaining about, a palpable drop in quality in some of these mainstream comics. Not only were the stories getting weird and preachy and having these strange feminist, moments of chastisement and scolding, but they were also all these weirdo misspellings were getting through. Grammatical errors. You know how weird it is to be reading a Spider-Man comic and come across 2 misspellings in one sentence? That's weird. That is weird. Somebody else started to notice that, hey, how odd. That every single editor at Marvel Comics is a male. And by the way, I think pretty much a white male. Go through that. Let's make a list and let's just check. But they're all male. And most of them, the vast majority of them, have young female assistant editors, or at least the names, their assistant editors are female. That's weird. It's a power trip. But maybe these females are older. Maybe they're not attractive. Maybe they were hired on merit, right? Right. Well, and that doesn't explain the spelling mistakes and, all of these typos that are getting through. It just doesn't explain that. That's weird. Now, in the meantime, these same names, these assistant editors, are saying some very strange things on social media. One of them is saying, If you voted for Trump, we'll remember who you are. That's a strange thing for an assistant editor to say. And there are, various strange political things, various strange accusations of bigotry, people being told, people being called names, people being called Nazis, et cetera, by these people. The milkshake incident was them taking a photograph of themselves, and people could finally see, put faces behind the names. And when they saw the faces, they realized these girls are all very pretty and young. What are they doing? So we've got some very young, pretty assistant editors hired by these older men. And it doesn't seem to be based on merit or quality, because all of these spelling errors are getting through and they're behaving abominably on Twitter. So what is the reason exactly? What's going on? That's what started the milkshake incident. It wasn't that women had the temerity to take a photo celebrating the life of a beloved Marvel legend. It wasn't about, hey, women in comics. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. It was about putting the faces to the names of people who had been abusive on Twitter and who were failing at their jobs at Marvel. That's all it was. That was COMICSGATE Part 2. That was the second thing. Now, let's go on with Gail Simone. So this is all a lie. This is ridiculous. Why do they do this? Why can't they just be honest about it? Why can't Gail just be honest and say, look, yeah, these girls, but they just needed a learning experience. They're young girls. Yeah, they were doing some things that were wrong, but they endured harassment and then show me the harassment that these women endured endlessly, as a consequence. It just didn't. No, Gail completely strips out any bit of wrongdoing that they might have done. She also ignores exactly what came before this to cause COMICSGATE. She ignores the moment when retailers stood up against Marvel Comics, that I believe happened before this as well, and said, we can't sell your social justice comics. We can't sell them. We're going out of business because we can't sell your comics. And Marvel basically retreated. Gail ignores the fact that their director of marketing himself actually said that we hear you loud and clear. We hear that you don't want women in comics anymore. All of these moments combined to create COMICSGATE. It had nothing to do with a sweet bunch of girls taking a photograph of themselves. And boy, those women in comics, we can't have them. Why do they have to lie? Why can't you be direct and honest and lay the facts down on the table? And then we'll just examine them. Once we have all the pieces on the table, honestly and objectively, then we can examine them and we can decide who's right, who's wrong, where people went astray, et cetera, et cetera. That seems like a fair argument for me. This is dishonest. This is disingenuous. This is Miss Gail Simone. Most of the pros, honestly, no big loss. Well, Gail, that's to you. That's your opinion. Most of the pros, honestly, no big loss to you. To who? What about the fans? How do the fans feel about some of these pros no longer being able to get work in mainstream comics? How do they feel about that? When you say no big loss, that's a big insult to all of the talented people that are a part of COMICSGATE. She says, I don't mean creatively. Some are inarguably talented. But for example, one decided to DM me one day out of the blue right here on Facebook to tell me why he was against rights for LGBTQ people at length in the stupidest way possible. It's just, I didn't know him. I asked him to go away a million times, and then I told him to go fuck himself. He's one of the top guys in this group. Gail, who? Who is it? When you do this, what you're doing is you're painting a big target on everyone. You're pretending to be protective of this guy's identity, but that's not what you're doing. You're implicating everyone. You're allowing, and you're doing it. What you're doing is you're allowing people to use their imaginations to accuse whoever they dislike the most in a group. This is called targeted harassment. This is inciting a mob to attack people. Now, if you have somebody who came to you and said in the stupidest way possible, which sounds like it would be like that's the stupidest way possible. So it has to be, if it's that, let me know. I want to know if somebody is actually gibbering on Facebook at you. If not, then it's not the stupidest way possible. And I have a feeling that, if this were genuine, you would go ahead and you would actually reveal this person. Because by going to you, Gail, by actually approaching you and saying that I'm against, this and this and this, and this, like, they're basically they have absolved themselves of the right to privacy at that point. That's my opinion. And let me get a drink. My throat is dried out. Here we go. Glug glug. Well, yeah, I mean, show me the harassment. Show me, show me these receipts. He's one of the top guys in this group. So let's see. That would be me. That would be Richard C. Meyer. And believe me, if it were Richard C. Meyer, she would be opening that up. We would see Richard C. Meyer. And Richard C. Meyer isn't against gay rights. So it would be me. It'd be Richard C. Meyer. Who else is a top guy in this group? Mike S. Miller. It's a possibility. He's got some religious qualms, I suppose. Let's see. Mitch Breitweiser. It's not Mitch or Elizabeth. Like, who are the top guys in this group? She's not letting anyone know because she is trying to smear everyone. And this is a tactic. This is a typical tactic. This is why this is dishonest. This is why this person is a dishonest person. He's one of the, I like the paragraph break. He's one of the top guys in this group. Mm-hmm. So, as I say, these people who want to believe people are going to hugely overpay for comics to own the libs forever. Look how this is about money. We're worried about money. Seems to be no big loss to me. That's fine. None of us are looking to work with you. Not anymore. Maybe they're right, and it's sustainable. Though there's a lot of grousing from the audience about feeling used already. You should hear the grousing about Plastic Man, Gail, from your own people. What did you do? Why did you put Plastic Man? Why did you make Plastic Man dress up like a woman, like Harley Quinn, and still have a big bulge in his/her pants? What were you doing there? That was funny. Why? Why is that funny? Why are trans issues funny to you? Why was that? Why were they a punchline to you? Why did that instinctively come out of your pen? You don't know better than that by now? That's odd. I wouldn't worry about us. I'd look in the mirror. I think making comics for conservatives is fine. Good. We're not making comics for conservatives. We're making comics for everyone. For everyone. I think making a company to do that is fine. We're not. We're making a company. Well, I'm making a company called All Caps Comics that is going to serve everyone. Okay. If you like frogs fighting hornets, you're going to like All Caps Comics. There's going to be no politics. There's going to be nothing in it that will offend you unless you don't like watching bugs get squished and people get stung. You are going to enjoy it. So it's not comics for conservatives. That's projection. You're trying to make comics for liberals. And I think making a company to do that is fine. We're not doing that. That's what you're afraid we're doing. And we don't need your permission. And I think any publisher should be able to publish what they want. Oh, except for Alterna. Except for possibly Antarctic. And is it Antarctic Press? Except for Antarctic Press, they should not be allowed to publish Jawbreakers. Not at all. And Gail, if you thought that, you should have stood up against Mark Waid. And you should have said, leave Antarctic alone. They should be able to publish what they want. They should be able to publish Jawbreakers. They should absolutely be. And you, Mark Waid, you can't get in the way of that interaction. How dare you? Even though we disagree, we're good liberals. We allow for people to have their freedom of speech. Freedom of speech first. I may not agree with your comic book about G.I. Joe, but I will die for your right to publish it. No, I say no. Instead, there is an organized harassment campaign against that publisher that actually makes him break down into tears. And how many more of these small press publishers do you want to make cry? She says, I genuinely believe if you aren't getting what you want from a media, it's fair to do other options. Then leave us alone. But there's one thing that bugs me, and I can't quite set it aside. Oh, here it is. What is it that bugs you? How can I get rid of this here? Double click it. Do you guys know? How do I get rid of this? Can I read through it? You guys always know. Teach me how to Dougie. All right, who cares? Yeah, there are two writers whose work I've loved, who were real heroes to me. Stop calling me a boomer. Having a moment here. Move your cursor off of it. My cursor is off of it. Oh, there it is. Okay, perfect. You were right. I just had to move my cursor way over here. Okay, that's fine. Uh, two writers whose work I've loved, who are real heroes to me, and they've not only gone over, they're believers. They repeat the garbage party line. They do everything they can to pretend they magically don't see what they're aligning with. Gail, excuse me, Gail, you are lying about what they're aligning with. They understand what COMICSGATE is. You are lying about what it is. That is the disconnect. That's the disconnect. So if you understand what COMICSGATE actually is and you stop lying about what it is, then you'll stop being angry about people aligning with it. But you know what? I don't even think you're really angry. And stop pretending you have heroes. You don't. None of these people are your heroes, Gail. They're just your coworkers. They've gone over here because either they see this as a better opportunity for themselves, and they know what you're saying is bullshit. They know what you're saying is bullshit, Gail. They know you. Or they just it's an opportunity to actually pay their bills. They can't get work in mainstream comics anymore, and with comics in decline the way that they are, and they are in decline. It's just a matter of how far in decline they are. They need a new outlet. We're creating a new outlet. We're finding a new way to let these guys do their comics, pay their bills, own their characters. It's great. That is the party line. Is that garbage to you? Is it garbage to work for a movement, to support a movement like COMICSGATE, a grassroots movement, small little organization of people, just the same way Stan and Jack were in 1961, who just want to do their own thing, who are stepping away from the politically oppressive comic book industry as it is right now in the mainstream. That's what they did in 1961. Under the ridiculousness of Frederick Wordham, Seduction of the Innocent, comics changed in the 1950s. Stan and Jack made him change under that same system, under that same circumstance. They made comics change for the better in 1961. They're just a couple of people. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Do everything they can to pretend they magically don't see what they're aligning with. What an annoying sentence. It's a bummer. Everything, yeah. A lot of the best stories I read as a kid, a lot of what influenced me most was these two guys' stories, and their influence is still there all the time. I have dozens, sometimes hundreds of insults and lies and worse sent my way every day by their team. Gail, you sicked your 100,000 fans on me for political grief, for your political grief. And they still, basically by you doing that, you open the floodgates on weirdos to harass me and my family for 2 years. You have no right. You have no right to be talking about you being attacked by people. It's ridiculous. You're asking for it as well. You write things like this. This is an obnoxious little essay. It's dishonest. It is rude. It's insulting. You should get attacked for this. People should argue with you over this. People should say, Gail, this is bullshit. That's what you get. That's what happens. That's what happens when you write things that people don't like on the internet. I learned that when I wrote, I voted for Trump. Hooray. You taught me that lesson. You taught me that lesson. You taught me that people are going to attack me and they're going to call me names and they're going to say, you suck and all of that. Thank you for teaching me that lesson. So I can't just set it aside. If it was just me, I think maybe, she's doing it for her marginalized pro friends. They get it far worse. I see. Well, it's very brave of you, Gail. So I can't just set it aside. If it was just me, I think maybe I try to make excuses. I'm sure you're conservative. It's delightful to find a new audience, and maybe it's nice to get a second wind. I don't know what the reasoning is. Those are the reasons. They're conservative. It's a chance to find a new audience, and it's great to get a second wind. That is the reason. Right there. That's the entire reason for most of these people like Chuck Dixon, Doug TenNapel, Dave Sim. These guys have been ostracized, kicked out of the industry by people like you who pretend that you're protecting your marginalized pro friends and demonize them. Hey, get out of this industry because of my marginalized pro friends. They're getting harassed because of your existence. Get out. They still have bills to pay. So this is them finding a new audience, getting a second wind. Those are great reasons I get that I love when they say, I get it. Mark Wade says that too. I get it. I get this. I get it. Why do they all talk like this? I get that there are far bigger issues. I get that this is small potatoes, but I don't care about the crappy amateur in-joke stuff that most of the Gator books. I don't know what that means. I don't care about the recycled stuff. I don't know what that means. I don't care about the angry jerks they have fostered as their main audience. That's you guys, angry jerks. 1,639 people watching now, angry jerks. But it does bug me about these two. Can't explain it. It just does. Well, apparently they're angry jerks too, Gail. Have you ever thought of that? Maybe you were inspired by angry jerks. That would explain a few things. Dang. But it's still a bummer. So much of what we are today is the stories that moved us when we were younger. And it stings when someone or some two you admired so much lets you down so bad. I know how that feels. I felt that way on November 9th when somebody who I considered a friend let me down so bad. Well, I mean, you were feeling bad, weren't you? You were upset about the election, so you wanted to go ahead and make me feel it too. I appreciate that. That's what I get. I guess that's what I get for the 3 times DC Comics said, "Who would you like to work with?" And I chose you. I guess that's what I get. As I said, don't try to make friends with a great white shark. They will always turn on you and they will always bite you. You can hang on for a little while, and before you know it, it's not going to go well for you. So I don't know. I don't know how many more of these insulting, stupid essays that we can expect from these people. I don't know when it's going to stop. Is it ever going to stop? No, probably not. I don't think it's ever going to stop. I think that we must continue to do this. I think we must continue to write these essays. It is important because some bad news is coming. Some very bad news is coming. And things are going to have to be explained. And, people are going to be looking at us and our success, and they are going to, I don't know. Some other people are going to demand answers, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how this is all going to go down. It's peculiar. But I mean, it's insulting to hear these people, day in and day out. I come on this channel and I talk to you guys and we make jokes. We have fun. We talk about comics. We sell our comics. We invite everyone to be aboard. And, it's like if you just look at who is a part of COMICSGATE, these are people that Gail Simone would consider to be marginalized. Everyone's welcome. It's extremely insulting to have to read that, well, every reason that they give for being COMICSGATE makes sense. It's fine with us. It's fine with us, except that you're demonizing marginalized people. Well, since that's a lie, we are not demonizing marginalized people at all. I guess you have no reason to argue with us, as long as that's a lie. And it is a lie. Of course it's a lie. It's stupid. Absolutely stupid. Hi, everyone. I wish we could get Greg Capullo and COMICSGATE. Yes. All right, let me read these. Let me read these super chats. How many pages are you into Blood Honey? No pressure. I am not telling you. McKinney 90. Good morning, Ethan. But I'm going to start showing you some pages. I'm going to put up. Can I put up? I'll put up some stuff because I've got to do an update on the Indiegogo campaign, and I like to show art for an update. McKinney 90. Good morning, Ethan. $2 donation message retracted. Bruce G90. I'll give you $2 not to shave. Oh, you don't want that. Yeah, that wouldn't be. That would look grim. Art Alive 09. Here's some money for the skunk fund. Well, Andrea said this morning. She said, I'm afraid to go outside now. I'm afraid to go outside. That skunk. I said, that skunk is long gone. He just wandered into our yard. He didn't find anything he wanted. He is, he's on his way. She's still not sure. So she's worried about the skunk. I have to admit the thought crossed my mind. I woke up this morning at 3 a.m. to take the garbage out. And I didn't wake up. I was already awake. But I took the garbage out and it was pitch black. And I was terrified that skunk was out there because I'd step on that skunk easily and get sprayed. That would be a really bad night. Young Dark Vader, shout out. Mike Zero, shout out Skunk Squad. Hell yeah. The other, 2 pounds. Sorry I'm late. Any banana custard pie yet? Yes, half of the banana custard pie is left. half of it. It's small. It wasn't a big pie. It's better when I have more people here, so I don't have to do all the talking. That umbrella guy, $2. Hey, IDW Q3 is out, negative $7.4 million this year, 12 million more in debt. Oh my god. Oh my god, umbrella guy, it's the end of the world. It is the end of the world. Yeah, I guess all of this is about us harassing marginalized creators then. I guess that must be what this is, Gail. This is us we're just doing this because we want to hurt people. We've just formed COMICSGATE because I don't know, we don't like it. We don't like the diversity. The diversity's got to stop. That must be it. It's not the fact that comics are hemorrhaging money. Absolutely hemorrhaging money. That umbrella guy goes, it's the end of their world. Yeah, I know. It's like wrestling a hurt dog, like a dying dog. Like it's like you're gonna get bitten. It wants to take you out too. I don't want to go out. I'm doing good. We figured out how to do comics. We've got a whole new fresh audience here that wants to read our comics. I don't want to go down with that ship. Gail, I'm so sorry that there are two writers over here that you considered your hero. I'm so sorry. I think they made the right choice by coming with us. I mean, this could have been fourth time as a charm for you. Like, hey, Gail, you want to come over here and write a couple things? No. Well, heel versus babyface, 20 pounds. Wow, thank you for 20 pounds. I much prefer Nina Simone. Who's Nina Simone? Was she an MTV music video host, or was Nina Simone 99 red balloons? I can't remember. Nina Simone. I'm gonna have to look that up now. Diablo Arizona, $5. What happened to Sunday afternoon stream? I was listening to the video after it ended, then it stopped, and it's not uploaded on your channel. That's right. It is set to private on my channel. And here's the thing. When I upload every single live stream that I do, YouTube throttles your channel for it. What YouTube wants short 10 to 15 minute videos consistently. Now, if you do that, that's the formula. If you do short 10 to 15 minute videos that are fun and that are okay for the whole family, they will monetize your video, they will put ads on your video, and they will start recommending your channel out. And that way your channel grows. Now, if you're putting up 4-hour videos every single day, YouTube goes, yeah, we can't really advertise on that. And so we're going to sort of put your channel over here, and we're going to find this other channel that produces the 15-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute content consistently. So realizing this and realizing that my growth has shrunk, like I got like 15 new subscribers one day. I went, all right, I gotta make changes here. So more 10 to 15 minute videos. I will still do the live streams, but I will not upload them. Not all of them. What I will do instead is trim out 15 minutes here or there. So the best part, most of it isn't necessary. Do people really want to listen to us promote our books over and over again on repeat? I'm not sure. So we cut that stuff out. The best moments, like when Doug reveals that he does not wipe, those become 10-minute videos. Grant Gibson goes, Ethan, get a live stream channel. That's not a bad idea. I have one. I have a channel called the High Council. There's a High Council channel. Yeah, make a second channel. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Kabir Kumar says Caesar's growth is growthful, brother. They don't like it. Oh my god, dude! If you listen to the SJWs complain about COMICSGATE, one thing they do not like is me being called Caesar. They get so upset about it. They're like, he actually thinks he's Caesar. I'm like, every single day there's something new. Every single day they're annoyed by something new. I don't even know what to say. I love it though. Absolutely love my Centurions. I love you guys. You're great. Use the High Council channel. Yeah, that's a possibility. We've only used it once. I've got it. It's not monetized yet, so I'd have to build it up to be monetized. But I think we could get it monetized pretty quick. All right. Wow, unbelievable. Again, IDW third quarter negative seven. They lost $7.4 million this year. They're $12 million in debt. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Marvel Comics bankruptcy 2, Electric Boogaloo, says Tyler Preston. It's coming. Ian Howe. I wish Frank Cho would come over to COMICSGATE. I would totally support anything he put out. Yeah, Frank Cho is, he's always welcome. Look, we have to fight through some stuff. This is real. I mean, first of all, here's the situation. We have to hang together. We have to hang together, as a group, as creators, as fans, YouTubers. We have to hang together because they're trying really hard to rip us apart. Because if they're going down, they want us to go down too. Wouldn't it be weird if, Marvel ceased to publish suddenly and we were still publishing? That would be awkward. You know, so I don't know. We have to just stay chipper and happy. Trencher, here's some good criticism. Trencher 1374 says, you sound angrier and angrier every day. Don't let them get under your skin. That is a victory for them. Okay, that's good criticism. It does make me angry, and I guess that's not the proper response. I mean, it's not even about me. It's about kind of you guys. I don't like them. I don't like these people accusing you guys of being bigots. I don't like it. It's infuriating, and I feel kind of protective of this community, and I feel like I need to speak out and protect you if I can. And it does make me angry. Patton Oswalt made me angry. Gail Simone makes me angry. All of these people make me angry with their phony platitudes about protecting marginalized people when we are the marginalized people. We're full of marginalized people, and many of them are creators getting great opportunities here. Pretending it's all concern trolling. It's also disingenuous. It's also rude. It's also stupid, and it's destructive. We're trying to build something and they're trying to destroy what we're building. So it does make me a little angry, but Trencher, I will take your advice and I will whistle a little bit more big. I'll whistle a happy tune in my heart. Jason Moore admits it. He is a jerk. That's great, Jason Moore. Yeah. It's all very condescending. It's blah, blah, blah. Ian Voss says, don't worry, Uncle E. We like the Jersey side. Well, that's what comes out. I don't, when I'm calling somebody a freaking midget, that's because I was raised in New Jersey. So I apologize. To you guys, not to the, I apologize to you guys. Anyway, Brock Butler, I think you just hit the nail on the head. There really should be a better distinction of true liberals and hard lefters. Yeah, well, even hard lefters are separate from SJWs. True liberals, left wingers, social justice warriors are extreme left wingers who wish to dominate the culture and exclude and punish people who disagree with them. I mean, and those are SJWs, and they're all over social media making a mess. They want to punish people big time. If you disagree with social justice warriors, they want your job. They want to fire you. They want to get you fired. That's a brand new kind of individual. They're defective, abnormal weirdos. They let you know who they are, usually by their brightly colored hair. It's like the poisonous animals in the animal kingdom are always the ones that are brightly colored. That is an SJW. Dr. Martin Luther Pepe, they shriek in pain as they strike you. Yep, every time. Ito Higuma, thanks for 10 pounds. Being called an angry jerk really makes me want to buy her stuff. Not. Is she related to Roundhead Johnson? No, but they all sound alike. That lecture that we just read from Gail Simone could have been written by Mark Wade, could have been written by Kurt Busiek, could have been written by Ryan Johnson, could have been written by, not Chuck Wendig, he can't write. But they all sound exactly the same. They all say the same stuff. It's weird. And I noticed they all say, look, I get it. I get it. As they concede half of, like a fraction of your point in order to hit you with the big, scissor kick to the face of disingenuousness and condescension and falsehood. Dr. Martin Luther Pepe again says, I've been called far worse things by far better people. Yeah. Marsupial Gamer, no good deed goes unpunished. Trebuchet to Mars. Indeed, that is what the trebuchet is for. Jake Foley, wish I had time to write a giant blog post about every role model whose views don't align 100% with mine. I know. But if you did that, then you'd never finish your Plastic Man miniseries. I mean, you know, it is disappointing when you find out that someone that you admire isn't exactly like you and disagrees with you and thinks you're dumb. That is hard. It's never happened to me, but it's happened to Gail, and that is sad. Uh, let's see, David. Oh, Faccio Couch. Faccio Couch. Thanks for $5. Sorry to hear that you bailed out this hack only for her to turn on you. I never thought her writing was good. Trebuchet into the refrigerator. Well, that's just rude. David Todorov, $2. Money for your future insulin fund. I worry about you. Me too. Like seriously. But you know what, you guys? I'm going through a thing. I'm eating a lot of pie. I'm eating a lot of pie, mostly because of you guys. I blame you guys for this. You guys are the ones who keep talking about pie. Yeah, don't worry about it. Marsupial Gamer, your amazing anti-diversity powers are amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Channel 0x, 10 pounds. Thank you. The Mortal Worlds graphic novel Indiegogo campaign is live. Claim your perk now. So it looks like Channel 0x has an Indiegogo campaign called Mortal Worlds, and it's a graphic novel. Go check out The Mortal Worlds on Indiegogo. Kleindropper, thanks for $5. PewDiePie says 10 minute and 1 second long videos for max monetization. He has pie in his name, so you believe him. Yeah, I would believe that. PewDiePie knows what he's doing. It's not about monetization so much as it is, hey, share my video, like get my video recommended. If YouTube kind of just like recommends your videos, then your channel grows real quick. And so I was doing that. I was doing 2 or 3 10-minute videos a day, and my channel was experiencing tremendous growth, and it was awesome. And then I started doing live streams every day instead because I'm promoting Indiegogos and COMICSGATE, and then my channel just went. It's like, okay, all right, let's get back on track. Evil Paradigm, you don't have time to get angry. You have to draw frogs and be happy. Exactly. Pal Idem. I wish I knew how to pronounce your name. Happy warrior like Ronald Reagan. Yes. Even over in Norway, they love Ronald Reagan, and they understand concepts like happy warrior. Shannon McDaniel, $2. You should start a COMICSGATE channel called BitChute. Oh, on BitChute, you mean? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Ian Howe, can you leave live chats up for 24 to 48 hours to give us a chance to catch up and then take them down? Will that have the same effect on me though? I feel like it's as soon as I upload it, like that's when the problem happens. I don't know. I'm gonna leave this one up because it's pretty concise. It's a response to Gail Simone's stream or Gail Simone's essay, and I think it should stay up. Let me see what's going on in the chat now. Search engine optimization, EVS. Yeah. I mean, you just want to, so that if people want to hear a million videos about Star Wars or Kathleen Kennedy or, even Gail Simone, they need to be able to find them. You want your video to pop up first. And that's what it's all about. Rokabir Kumar says 1,000 harpies cry out in pain as we laugh, brethren. Oh my God. COMICSGATE Trebuchet channel. Well, that's what we could call it. We could call it Trebuchet Live. We could call it Trebuchet Live, and that would actually be a pretty good kind of COMICSGATE channel. Yeah. Gotta go back to work. Have a good one, Uncle E, Ro, and Antonio. All right, Dragon of the Black Bull. Have a great day. Mellow Soul, thanks for $7.99. Been away a few days and caught up on the passionate rant you had. Like I said with Zach, you guys are a voice for those. You guys are a voice for those who don't. Be well, Uncle. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, but I got to cheer up. They're right. I'm like, seriously, I cannot be infuriated all the time. That's not in my, that's not my thing. Not at all. Maxi Men and Cheese, thanks for $2. You skipped me? I did. Let me just go back and find your thing. I didn't mean to skip you at all. Maxi Men and Cheese, $5. Was she saying that COMICSGATE feels used as an audience? That's rich coming from an industry that manipulatively releases number ones over and over again. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I missed that. I don't know. I skipped over it. That's a great point. I don't know if COMICSGATE is complaining as an audience right now. I think they'll feel much better when they actually have the comics in their hands. I hope they realize. And again, the mainstream comic book industry doesn't have a leg to stand on. You're exactly right. I don't know how much more these people can kick around their audience. And you don't think that Marvel or that Marvel fans would pay $50 a year. So let's say I'm doing 2 Cyberfrog books per year, and each one is $25. You don't think that Marvel fans would pay $50 a year to get a year's worth of good Iron Man content? I mean, of course they would. They already are. It's absolutely ridiculous. Unfortunately, the Iron Man content they're getting is not what they want. Not at all. Yeah. Nick Patera keeps drawing Cecil and Leviathan. He has killer art too. You guys should reach out to him. Well, you can reach out to us. Yeah, I can't remember everyone's name. I hear about people in the chat, and I do appreciate everyone kind of saying, "Hey, look at this guy, look at this guy." For the most part, in order to get my attention, you just got to keep at it, because my Twitter is full. My Twitter DMs are always kind of loaded, and I'll look through real quick. But if it takes a minute. I mean, ask Antonio Bryce. Antonio came after me. I don't know. It took him like 2 months to get my attention, and now that he's gotten my attention, it's like I finally stopped and looked at his work and just went, "Oh, you're in." And now he's sitting at, I don't know, he's got like almost a $40,000 Indiegogo campaign. So it takes a minute. It does take a minute to get my attention, but don't stop. If you believe in your project and you think that being on COMICSGATE Live is going to help you, don't stop trying to get my attention, and don't stop supporting COMICSGATE. Be out there talking about COMICSGATE. That's how we kind of notice you. Antonio was sending me images. I think he drew, or Kanan White drew a picture of me looking rather evil, with an orange lantern and like everything about me, like Rose Tico and all this stuff all around, and sent that to me. And I went, "Oh, that's cool, that's cool." But it wasn't until Antonio did a video. He has a YouTube channel, of course, and I did a name search on Google for myself. Big mistake. I should not be doing that, but I did do it. And Antonio's video came up. Like, I'm making gumbo and I'm watching Ethan Van Sciver on COMICSGATE Live, and I was like, "That's kind of cool." So I clicked on his video, and Antonio is just sitting there like making gumbo, telling you how to make gumbo, and then just like, "I'm going to sit down and eat this gumbo and watch Ethan Van Sciver on COMICSGATE Live." And I was so flattered by that, and I felt so good and warm about his video that I reached out to him and just said, "Let me see your book. Let me see what you're doing." And I invited him on the show. Now, his book was Kickstarted. It was on Kickstarter, and it had made $98 on Kickstarter. It didn't do that well. But with let me see where it is now. Do I have it up here? I'm very proud of Antonio. This is like his book is a big success. Oh, here it is. His book is a big success. Brand, by Antonio Bryce, $36,016, because he's been on COMICSGATE Live and he's been able to get a big audience. And what do I get out of this? Well, I get to brag. That's what I get out of it. I love it. I love saying, "Look, Antonio Bryce made $36,000 because he knows me." Ha ha. Aren't I cool? Ravage, Kill All Men, Ben Hennessy's at 45,000. Is it still? $45,554 right now. This is all good stuff. Doug Tenaple reached out to me. He was very upset. He reached out because he had done, he had a project with Scholastic Books that had fallen through, and he was afraid that he was going to lose $20,000 worth of income, and he wanted to do comics again. Reached out to me. Here he is with Bigfoot Bill, $74,725. I love this. This is all COMICSGATE. This is all great stuff. This is all people, reaching their dream. And you don't think that I'm proud of that? Of course I'm proud of that. Of course I'm proud of that. I want to brag about these guys all day long. I want to brag about how successful they are. I want to brag about how wonderful their books look. This is all great stuff. And of course they're going to try to denigrate you. And of course they're going to try to bring you down. But yeah, you can't. It's evident. It's evident when we can make when Patton Oswalt can't get a Kickstarter, he's asking for $36,000, and where is he right now? Could you guys see Patton Oswalt's Kickstarter? See where it is? I mean, it's just like I think he's $13,000 away from reaching funding, and he's only got 3 or 4 days left. But you can be a part of COMICSGATE. You can be, and you can be a part of COMICSGATE, and you can get your book funded, and you can you can fulfill your dream. I love that. I'm really, really proud of it. Really proud of what we're doing. It's at 2,100. It's at 21,000. 21,000 out of 36,000. So yeah, I think people are saying that's why Patton Oswalt attacked us, because he has, he has a Kickstarter and he wants to get attention. You could just ask me, Patton. You could just come be on the show. Ben Cooper, thanks for $10. Do you think what you guys are doing is going to revolutionize the way comics are created and sold with these Kickstarters? Yeah, I do. I do. Our detractors keep saying, well, this can't last forever. I don't see why not. I don't understand why it wouldn't, weirdos. As long as we produce great stuff, and we maintain our market, our fan base, our customer base, and as long as we deliver exactly what we promised, of course it's going to continue. People, this is the thing about what we're doing that they're not doing. We listen to you. You have control over these books. You have control over them. It's every time we talk, people are just like, hey, I like Salamandroid more than Cyberfrog. Well, Salamandroid's going to have a bigger role in the book then, because you've got to keep your ear to the ground and actually pay attention to what the fans are saying. Mainstream comics is the opposite right now. Mainstream comics doesn't listen to anybody. They don't. They have their own ideas. They have a weird idea that an angry fan is an engaged fan. You want to talk about an unsustainable business business practice? It's that. The idea that an angry fan is an engaged fan. You think that's going to last? I think that Indiegogos are going to outlast that business model, frankly. I do. And so, people who are supporting COMICSGATE, I'm concerned. My concern is that everyone fulfill. I feel like even though it's not my responsibility, and it is not my responsibility, these are adults, but I'm going to ride these people and make sure that everyone fulfills their Indiegogo. If it's a little late, it's a little late. Let's get it done, though. Let's make sure everyone gets their thing. It will not be 5 years late. It might be a month late. It will not be 5 years late. We will all kind of join together as a community to make sure that you fulfill your Indiegogo and get it done in time. We have to do that, for the sake of everyone. It's like if you're associated with COMICSGATE and you bomb out, then what do you expect? Diablo Arizona, $2. Glad you're thinking of a second channel for the live stuff. Oh, okay, so maybe I better do that. Tyler Preston, $5. Seeing all this gives me hope. Thank you, Tyler. Well, I am not a comic artist, more of a writer. I want to be famous for my skills than my skin color. Godspeed, Ethan. Yeah, thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you. Yeah. Uncle Ethan, can we name the skunk outside Gail? Yeah, okay. I guess the skunk outside is named Gail. I like that skunk though. The skunk's very cute. I just don't want him spraying my daughter. Mike Stone, you are normal people. Maybe we like that. Yeah, I just, this is the thing about it is I think other comic skaters probably feel the same way. We're happy to live in peace and apart from the mainstream. What does that make us? I mean, we're like, we're like, hey, just leave us alone. It's like we've moved on. We don't want to be your colonies. We want our own independence. We want to actually be free and make our own choices. And we don't want to get in your way. If you want to keep making stupid decisions with these characters, keep doing strange social justice warrior based comics. I mean, go ahead. You can do them. We'll see which is more sustainable, that or this. And maybe it will be. Maybe suddenly it's going to just catch on and everyone is really going to enjoy being scolded, by fat 50-year-old weirdos with colored hair. I don't know. Could happen. Could happen. It's like I go to these conventions and I look at these people and I just go at these angry SJW creators, and I'm just like, you should not be giving life advice to people. None of these people should be giving life advice to other people through superhero comics. I'm sorry. Get your act together. I don't want to give anyone life advice. I don't. I'll give you comic book advice. But yeah, what did Cecil say that is the truth? Let me see. Cecil says Patton Oswalt has 4.4 million followers and has barely raised $20,000 in a month for his comic. Yeah, that's where the audience is. LOL. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, that is true. I don't know why I don't know why we're chasing after. Why are you trying to pull the dollar from these people? They don't want to pay it. They don't want to buy comics. They don't want to buy comics. So why are you trying to convince crazy cat ladies to buy comics? They don't want them. They say that they do. They pretend to, but what they really want is they just want control over it. They want guardianship. They want gatekeeping status. They want to be able to tell you that you can't be in comics. They want to exclude you from comics. And while they do that, it's very strange. They say things that they say, oh, well, they're trying to exclude marginalized people from comics. The hell we are. No, we're not. We're not trying to exclude anyone from comics at all. But this is their whole thing. Their whole thing is to just kind of set themselves up as gatekeepers. They don't want to make anything. They don't want to. Yeah, they don't really want to make anything beautiful. They just kind of want to exclude people. I resent it. I don't think it's. I don't think it's right. I think we should have a big open door, a comics gate that is wide open. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I think is it that you know. Um, hmm. Yeah, they might just see us in the way. Maybe we're in the way of their feminist agenda. Feminist agenda. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm worried about IDW. I think losing $7.4 million in a year is not great at all. At all. It's bad news. Uh, Ben Pachetti points out that I have gatekeeped Fabio. I haven't. I have not gatekept Fabio. If he wanted to be in COMICSGATE, I would make sure that he was able to be in COMICSGATE. Jake G says, never stop rebuking their bullshit, Ethan. Never give an inch. That's how I believe Gamergate caught a bad rep to mainstream society. And Gator comic equals Gamergator in that article, COMICSGator. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Well, I don't, look, it's tiresome to go through and just point out over and over again the lies and lies and lies. But these people, they don't love comics. They don't love comics. They don't love the art in comics. They don't love the characters. They don't care about the history. They hate the fans. Comic books do not make these people happy at all. They don't make people happy. They don't make SJWs happy. Like I said, they only want to be comics gatekeepers, and they want to exclude conservatives, Republicans, Trump supporters, or anyone that displeases them from the fandom or industry, unless you pass their purity test. They're moralizing constantly. That's what all of this is. It's just an endless purity test to weed out wrong thinkers so that they can be in control of who gets in the nightclub. They see comic books, the whole comic book industry, as the coolest nightclub that they don't really want to dance in. They just want to stand outside and tell you can't come in. They're not here to produce any comics to attract fans. Uh, these people joined up specifically to exclude and chastise you. You don't have a right to love comics. You have no right. You shouldn't deserve you do not deserve comics because you're on the wrong side of history. You're a Nazi. You must suffer for it. You can't be a part of this. Oh my God. And when you think like that, the books that you create that sell like shit, it's like, that's good. That's great. Uh, we got to do more of that because, we're going to keep giving you what you don't want until you figure out that we're doing it because we hate you. Son of Nimrod, 5 pounds. You are doing God's work, Evan Skythers. Thank you so much, Son of Nimrod. I do appreciate it. We're going to keep giving you these books that we cancel for low sales and you celebrated. We're going to bring them back. They're right back. And we're going to keep hitting you with low selling shit until you realize that we hate you. Do you understand now? Do you understand that we hate you? Are you unhappy now? Our goal isn't making money. It's making you unhappy. That's what the mainstream, that's what SJWs are all about right now. Vile corruption, YT, $5. SJWs think liberals should get the bullet too. They're not normal Dems, and libs, and many of us hate them too. I know vile corruption. I know you're a good liberal, and I know that you see SJWs for what they are. You are not one, and you also despise them, as normal people must. Mellow Soul, thanks for $7.99. Will Doug be TSA at the entrance of the COMICSGATE? Will he have gloves? No, he will be checking inside your mouth with his bare hands. So, just be aware. Just be aware. Hey, there is a price for getting into comics. If they, oh my gosh, if they woke up and comics were extinct, it was only like a couple of people that still were comic book fans, they would congratulate themselves. They would all high five themselves because finally, the comic book industry has been purged of all of the wrong thinkers. You can't, I had a conversation with an artist who's kind of a lefty. And he's like, I want to get on the phone with you. I want to have a conversation with you about this stuff. I said, that's great. Let's talk. And, I was just like, hold on, let me drink again. He said, is it true that you said one time that all SJWs should be fired? You want to fire SJWs out of comics? I said, yes, I do. From a trebuchet at the sun. It used to be Mars, but there's a chance that they would survive. Just the sun would be more merciful. He said, well, I don't agree with that. I said, what do you mean you don't agree with that? How can you not agree with me that SJWs do not belong in any industry? And that is dependent on whether or not the industry itself or the company is out to make money. Now, if they're out to make a moral, a big political statement, if they want to virtue signal, if they exist solely to lose money and virtue signal, of course, hire all the SJWs. If you don't care about making any money, hire every single SJW. Never stop hiring SJWs. If all you want to do is piss off your customers, drive them away, but at least make a stand. I want to start a Nazi accusation business. Now, if you want to start a Nazi accusation business where you point the finger of scorn at normal people and call them a Nazi, then go ahead and hire SJWs and hire them in great quantities. Bring them all in. You'll do great. But if what you want to do is you want to actually make a profit, create a desirable product that people want to buy, create something that's in demand, something that makes people happy, feel good, never hire any SJWs. Scan their social media, see if they have something that says #punch Nazis. See if they talk about never Trump, any of this stuff. Do not hire them. Don't hire them. And in fact, if you have any people like that working for you, absolutely fire them right now. Sooner the better. And make them empty out their desks. Boot them out the door physically. Physically boot them out the door. Get a place kicker, the NFL. Boom, boot them as hard as you can. Cars in Depth, $10. EVS COMICSGATE has inspired me to start writing a graphic novel about Ford versus Ferrari at Le Mans in the 60s called You Better Win. Already found an artist interested in the project. By the way, I'm Ronnie. Oh, Ronnie, you tried to get on last night and it didn't work out. Cool, man. Good for you. Congratulations. Let me know. We'll have you on the show for real. You won't have to sneak in. We'll get you in here for real. Absolutely. Yeah, just kick them out the door, because if you keep them employed, you are going to lose money and fail. Now, IDW seems to be in the lose money and fail business. I don't know what else they could possibly be doing. What are you doing? I don't know what's going on over there. I've got those people. I've got people that work for IDW criticizing me. You're criticizing me? You guys, you should see if you can clone me. Take over your company. There's only one EVS. I cannot single-handedly run every single comic book company. I can't. I can only do my little thing. I'm just doing Cyberfrog. I can only run my YouTube channel. But don't you wish that you could, IDW? Don't you wish that you could clone me and get yourselves out of this? My God. EVS, Attack of the Clones, says Al Lewis. Can we get your DNA EVS as per the comics? Yeah, sure. Sure, absolutely. Let me send you a hair, but I won't tell you where it's from. JG, I have a dream to be part of EVS-T. I think you might mean team, but EVS-T sounds tasty. Sounds nice. Uncle E, did Dean Cain tweet you? Asked Bardukin. I don't know. I got a lot of retweets from him, a lot of favorites and likes about coming on my show, which is usually someone's way of saying, hey, ask me. I could ask him, I guess. I have Dean Cain on. Dean Cain's a nice guy. I think I bought him a cup of coffee one time. Anna Pressman says, enough with the Caesar cringe. Anna doesn't like when people call me Caesar. She cringes. Well, you call me Caesar, you call me Uncle Ethan, or you can call me EVS. You know, it's all the same. It's people just being familiar. Yeah, order 66 SJWs. No, I don't think I'll do that. I don't want to kill them. I just want them out of the business. I want them to stop ruining things. I don't need to eliminate them like, you know. Doesn't need to be Revenge of the Sith. I just and by the way, I don't even need to. I'll just sit back. Honestly, it is kind of fun to just watch this stuff go down. It is fun to just watch like IDW lose millions and millions of dollars because you know they can't put business ahead of their ideology. They can't do it, and they keep making the same mistakes over and over again. I don't need them to be fixed. Really, I don't need Marvel to be fixed. I don't need DC to do anything. All of you, just do what you want to. Just keep going. We're going to keep going too. That's all we want to do. We just want to keep going unhindered. We will see. We will see exactly who does what, and you know, we're on a much smaller scale, of course, but I think some lessons will be learned. Sly Marbo, thanks for $5. Couldn't get my mic to work last night when I snuck in. Had a boomer moment. Keep up the good work. We are winning. Oh yeah, Sly. I remember you. I kept going, Sly. You want to talk? You want to talk? And yeah, you couldn't get your mic to work. That's too bad. Well, you know, it's kind of fun. Like I was tempted to do something like that on purpose, just like leave the gate open. But the problem is that I'd need to limit. Like if it's just me, I can't have 9 people in because I can't manage 9 strangers. But I can manage 3 strangers, you know? So get 3 strangers in here talking with me. That's okay. I don't know how you do that, though. I don't know how you limit the number of people that can come in. George Hilton says, B. Allen Orange needs to be fired from that trebuchet eaten. Nah, I like him. I don't know why he keeps doing that, but I think it's funny. Yeah. Jason Lee, I've been drawing since the late 90s. This idea has been in my head. Lord of the Rings meets Dragon Ball Z. Thank you for the inspiration to keep drawing EBS. Always keep drawing. Always keep creating. Do good stuff, man. I mean, this is the great thing about comics and COMICSGATE. I think we are inspiring people and we're showing people that there's a way. And, go forward. Keep creating. Have fun. Comics are supposed to be about fun. They're not about gatekeeping. It's not about social justice. It's not about excluding people that you don't like. It's about the art. It's about the characters. It's about the history of this art form. It's about the fans. It's about being happy. It's not about being a gatekeeper. It's not about purity checks. It's not about punishing wrong thinkers. It's about attracting fans. It's about producing something that people like. It's not about being on the right or wrong side of history. It's not about making people suffer. It just isn't. And it's certainly not about calling your peers Nazis. And that is why these people have no ground to stand on. They have no, yeah. They have no legs. Is it legs? What's the phrase? You have no ground to stand on, or no leg to stand on. You have no leg to stand on. I'd hate to say that to someone who actually didn't have any legs. And I know that would happen, so I better say ground. It's the worst thing ever. You have no leg to stand on. I know. I lost it in Iraq. Shit. Sorry. Every single time. Yeah. Sith Lord says, there was a time someone tried to teach me about moderation, but I ended up drinking the whole 18 pack. I drank 18 beers once at a country western club, like a country nightclub. Yeah. No, Evil Paradigm. That didn't happen. I'm saying it would happen. That kind of thing always does happen. So you got to be careful what you say. Yeah. Mark Jane says Moose lost $10K. No, he lost about probably $60,000 all told. Being a part of this community means that you're going to make money. If you want to work, if you're a good colorist, you want to work, you're going to make money. Some people are drunk right now. I assume they're on the other side of the planet. They couldn't be here. What would you be doing drinking here? It's like it's 1:27. Jonathan Bear says my property was seized. Ethan, I'm offended. Oh, when I'm called Caesar? Oh my God. All right. I don't know. Yeah, Ethan should get a Discord. I have a Discord. I don't know how it works. I would use it. I used it to go on the Dick Show, but I really don't know how it works beyond that. I don't know how to put it, how to make it part of my YouTube channel. I can barely work this. You know, day drinking is a thing. Ethan, moron, says Roboters 100. Is it? I've never given myself that permission. It's got to be 6 o'clock before I start drinking. Everyone's calling me boomer. The Dick Show. Yeah, the Dick Masterson show. Dick Masterson had me on 4 days ago, and I think you can probably find it. Just go to thedickshow.com, and you can catch my appearance on that show. It was pretty good. Those guys are funny. Good times. Yeah. Yeah, it is degenerate. It's degenerate to drink in the afternoon, I think. Unless you're at a casino. If you're at a casino, you can drink whenever because it's always the same time. It's always about like 11 p.m. at a casino. It's always 11 p.m. no matter what time it is. So, because you don't go outside, you just stay in there and gamble. You're drinking at 7 a.m., drinking at 8 a.m. It's no big deal. Yeah. You're welcome for the dick advice. When Cyberpunk hits 1 million day drinking with fans, yeah, but it's not. I took the Indiegogo down. Andrea was like, you gotta just take it down. She's like, I gotta, we gotta get the taxes taken care of for this. We can't just have people keep coming in. And I went, all right, okay. Took it down. We didn't get to 100,000. It was sad, but we got pretty close. We got to 90,600. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I'll probably just do the cover anyway. I'll just do the Chromium cover on that. Make people happy. All right, so Angry Jerks Forever, guys, that's correct. I'm getting back to work. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, I'm sorry. When you see this stuff, don't let it get you down. This essay from Gail Simone, you read that and you know that's not you. And you guys, it's not you. I mean, it isn't you. This is them. Don't let people tell you. Don't let people define you. Especially don't let people define you negatively. Define yourself, word and deed. Don't be what they say that you are. Obviously, don't be that. You be kind of be better than that. We want, if COMICSGATE is anything, it's an inclusive society of fans and professionals and YouTubers who are criticizing what's going on with SJW Comics right now. But we don't want to gatekeep people. The only thing we want to do is just keep that same kind of poisonous rhetoric out of our community because we do want it to be prosperous. If you want to come here, you want to work hard, you want to come here, you want to enjoy the comics, you want to come here and speak your mind, then we want you to be a part of COMICSGATE, definitely. All right, guys, you have a great day. Get good stuff done today, and I will talk to you later.